Hello, my internet fans. We're back with another episode of the... of the what?
Nothing. I didn't say anything.
Yeah, I think you did.
Infamous. How about that?
Infamous? I would have said highly popular.
There you go. That works too.
Yeah. Another episode of Stat Boy Rants, and as always, these rants are Stat Boy approved. Well, good stuff to talk about. We're gonna go back to basics, keep the wrestling fans happy. Episode 29 for those keeping count. One of my buddies online says, rant on failed heel storylines. So, did a little research. Here's what I found. No particular order. I'm not going to go top 10 or whatever. One that came up was the Jim Duggan Canadian heel story. There you go. Patriotic Jim Duggan, you know, always chanting USA, and then out of the blue, he joins Team Canada.
In WCW.
In WCW. Thank you. You know, you couldn't boo this. This is like, what? This is like, you get that look when you miss a word in the Star Spangled Banner or something. It's like, huh? No way! Can you? In fact, that basically was a ripoff of the next one, which is Slaughter defecting to the Iraqis. Back in, what, 1991, 1992, 1993 in there?
90.
90? Was it in the 90s?
90-91.
Okay. You know? Of course, when an American defects now, it's top story on the news. But not in wrestling. No. And who had to come to save the USA? Good old Hulk Hogan. There you go. Slaughter gets a title run out of the deal. Had to beat the Warrior to do it, though. I think it would have been better if he would have beat Hogan for the belt, and then Hogan would have gotten it back. That storyline would have been just a little bit better. Don't you agree, Jeff Meacham?
Well, I think part of the reason Slaughter got the belt in the first place is because they were sick of having Warrior as champion, but they wanted Hogan to win the belt back at WrestleMania. So they figured put it on the top heel.
There you go.
There you go.
Another one. Booker T, when he joined the Alliance, he left WCW, the real WCW, not the watered down WWE WCW, as a face, because everyone loved Booker T. But because all the members of the Alliance were heels at the time, he had to become heel. Didn't know where to go with him, and he gets a shampoo feud out of it. It's like, really? That's all the thing they could come up with was shampoo? A storyline about shampoo, yeah. I'm really going to watch Raw or SmackDown to talk about... I think he had the smaller braids back then, or I don't remember, but did he even wash them back then? I don't know.
And who was that feud against?
It was against Edge.
Soon to be WWE Hall of Famer.
Yeah. Plus, he also had to have a fight with Stone Cold in the grocery store.
Best part of the heel run.
Exactly.
That was epic.
Seriously.
When did Booker T jump the shark? When he talked about shampoo. Another one we found happened at my very first Raw event when Rikishi was revealed as the one that ran over Stone Cold, and he did it for The Rock. He did it for the people. It's like, really? The one guy, Rikishi, I mean the big guy that used to put on the cool sunglasses and boogie, running over Stone Cold as a favor for The Rock? Really? I mean, yeah, he's a big guy, okay? I mean, the big guys in WWE are more prone to become heel because they're monsters. You know, they're little guy, big guy, stick and tree, you know. But it was just, it failed, like, after The Rock decided to take out his cousin. Go figure that one out. Good old JR. When he had a bout of Bell's palsy, or this was just before it, I guess, you know, after the New York incident with the Click. Well, I talked to Kevin Nash and I talked to Scott Hall all the time. In fact, I'm going to bring him back. JR, we're not stupid. We knew what Scott Hall looked like before and after the drugs.
He didn't say Scott Hall and Kevin
Well,
Nash.
he said Razor Ramon and Diesel, but we know what they meant. But like I say, you know, he brought in the fake Razor Ramon, which he looked kind of puny, and of course we had an unknown Glenn Jacobs as Diesel, who kind of decided to grow his hair long and cover up his face, so he couldn't. Even back then, he was kind of puny looking. Yeah, he was tall, but it just wasn't the same, you know?
His teeth were fixed.
Yes, his teeth were fixed, yes.
And Glenn Jacobs, of course, is?
Kane. And Isaac Yankem. But I mean, you can't have good old JR. You know, the main part of it was he ranted, haha, you see what I did there, about Vince McMahon firing him, which was legit, right? He did get fired legitimately a couple times. So that's the only truth in that storyline. But good old JR cannot. JR can get mad, but JR cannot be a heel. Because he's a good old country boy. Next on the list would be Stone Cold turning heel after WrestleMania when he fought Rock the second time.
What?
Stone Cold.
What?
Turning heel.
What?
Shook hands with Vince McMahon.
What?
After WrestleMania.
What?
The biggest
beer.
honor. Did they have a beer?
Yeah.
Yeah, they did have a beer.
And another. And another.
What?
And another.
What?
And another.
What?
Okay, I'm good.
Thank you, Casa D18.
Ha!
What was that?
Ha!
What is that?
Ha!
I don't want to know. What is?
What is that need for?
I want you part of this.
I have no idea what these
Anyway,
guys are doing.
this was a crazy moment in Stone Cold's. It was towards the end, but it's like, why Stone Cold? Why? And just to add another one that will fail, if they finally do it, will be Cena. If Cena turns heel, it will be we know it won't affect him because that's the current storyline. Okay? Rise above hate. We get all that. But I think that The Rock should be the heel in the match at Mania. Here's my reasoning. We all know Cena busts his ass every week. We all know he's not going to let the haters hate him. The Hollywood movie star gimmick that The Rock does works for him because he can be, you know, like the Andy Kaufman of the 2010s. If you remember Andy Kaufman, you know. I'm Hollywood. I love my fans. But it's like, if it comes down between Cena and Rock, I'm choosing Cena. Because I'm sorry. Rock is off making money in another business. Which is not bad, totally. But he's a hypocrite. He even went on Jay Leno last Monday. The only talk about wrestling was that he was happy to be at WrestleMania. Cheap plug at WrestleMania. And that he had a wardrobe malfunction because his trunks were too tight. I don't want to hear that. I want to hear a wrestler come on a talk show and say how much they're going to kick ass at WrestleMania, how they're going to pound their opponent into the ground, how they're going to react to the fans, and all that stuff. You know, I bet if John Cena went on Leno or on any show, he says, oh yeah, I'm going to beat The Rock. The Rock didn't even mention Cena by name, which leads me to believe that, one, he doesn't care about the match and he's just doing it for a payout, which, let's face it, that's probably what he's doing anyway. And two, after Mania, he's just going to go away and make more movies. He plugged his movie Journey to the Enchanted Island, which honestly, I'm not going to go see because it looks dumb. They got him fighting some big old T-Rex, which looks stupid. I mean, oh yeah, The Rock's going to take down a T-Rex. What's he going to do? Raise his eyebrow and the T-Rex is going to go, ooh.
Haku Machente!
Tyrex?
Yeah, let's have The Rock fight T-Rex.
That'd be awesome.
It would draw 400 people at the Los Alamitos Legion Hall for Battle Pro Wrestling. I'd buy it. In fact, I'll be there on February 25th. I'll be at the show. Fat Boy approved. I'll have to work though, but I'm not going to be there early. I'm going to be there around that time.
How about you actually promote the company the way it's supposed to be called, and that's Battleground Pro Wrestling,
What did I
not
say?
Battle Pro.
Okay, so I left out one word. I apologize.
Hashtag StatBoyFup.
I'm allowed. Anywho. So there you go. Failed heel storylines in WWE. There are probably plenty more. In fact, you can even throw in Chavo's failed attempt at Kerwin White. That was god-awful. I'd rather have a root canal than see that character.
Although it was the television debut of a yet unknown Dolph Ziggler.
There you go. Bring in those comments, folks. If you want a special rant, let me know. Keep following me on Twitter. Get me on my Statboy Rants page. Keep watching the channel. More shows to come. Statboy, yes?
What?
What were you going to say?
What?
Oh, now she does it.
Huh?
What is it with that?
What?
Ugh. Enough. Statboy out.